What's up, you guys? I'm here at Past and Pleasant Antique Mall and Flea Market, and I think I may have made a horrible mistake because I've gotten a tip that my entire collection of marmalade china is in there. So it's at an antique mall, not a thrift store, so it's probably going to be marked up a good bit. I'm a little bit nervous about that, but I know that the great thing about antique stores or antique malls is that everything is curated. So I don't have to worry about if it's chipped. I don't have to worry about, you know, the condition usually. So I'm pretty excited about that, but not looking forward to the price tag. I guess we're about to explore and find some treasures. Let's go digging. As you can see, Past and Present Antique and Flea Market definitely has a lot of different items. This is my son and my husband. They had a good time at Past and Present with me. They were so sweet. Past and Present was kind of interesting because they had a lot of things that were, you know, true antiques, and then of course like kind of flea market items as well. Can we talk about how weird it is that Ray Dunn is now in an antique store? I can't believe that. Wouldn't have thought that a few years ago. That little duck and this little picture I thought were so sweet, and that Mikasa brand is one of my mom's faves. I keep thinking about this little rocking chair. I left it behind. Did I make a mistake? Comment down below. Did I make a mistake? Love that little house there. And then the magic happens right here in this booth. Look at those cute little ducks. Oh my goodness. When I look back at these, I go, oh, I missed that. Pelican. Cutie little mug holder. Oh my goodness. But here's the magic. I know you were impressed. It was amazing. Loaded all that up and then just moved on to the next booth. Now you can see some of the booths are not very organized, and it makes it a little bit difficult to sift through. But you know, I'm a thrifter, so I'm not afraid of having to dig a little bit. I thought this little picture was so pretty, but the teapot behind it was what really caught my eye. I almost picked it up for that $19.99. I loved the shape of it, but I decided against it. You guys know I'm getting ready for the ladies' tea at church, which is coming up in just a few days, and I have definitely been going back and forth on exactly how I'm going to do it. I thought this bell was really cool. It was very heavy. If anybody knows what that insignia on it means, please tell me, because I didn't pick it up because I was kind of afraid it might be something like magic, and I didn't want to mess with that. Thought this was a really pretty lampshade, but knew that those crystals would never work in my house. And then also, it just wasn't our style. This is one thing about flea markets that I think is a little bit aggravating, is that they have new items for more than the cost of what they are retail. And it makes me go, why do you think that you can get that when I can order this brand new in the same condition and it can be delivered to my door? Picked this up because I thought it was going to be Corningware. Unfortunately, it was just this, but it was cute. Thought this little rudder from a shrimping boat was cool. It made me think of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company from Forrest Gump. I almost picked this up for my husband's office, this Norman Rockwell, but for $100, I decided against it. Thought this was beautiful. Definitely not my style, but that little gold dragon, oh my gosh, so pretty, especially for $19.99. What you got, Shep? Who is it? Picked up this little picture. It definitely looked like hand poured, with the inside being that pretty terracotta color, but I don't think that it was. There was no markings on the bottom. You know I'm a sucker for a crystal heart, so I had to take a look. This lady had all the cute little cottagecore style. Love those little blue with the hearts, so cute. But I didn't end up picking any of that up. It just wasn't what I'm looking for. This booth had so many teacups. I got so excited. So much milk glass, so many fine china items, just lots and lots of pretty stuff. And then look at this little bunny, so sweet. He's sleeping, and he was $8. Now, of course, he's like a mass production bunny, right? But he was so sweet. This basket, you know how I feel about the baskets. So I said $10, get in my cart. This turkey is a shout out to my friends Kayla and Megan. And then I got a crystal juicer, so sweet. That's pretty. Picked up this cutie little swan. Look at her, so pretty. At this basket too. I just couldn't decide if it should come home with me, and ultimately once I saw the price, I just decided against it. Saw this and immediately thought of my friend Amanda Russo. This chest I thought was so beautiful, but I couldn't figure out how to open it, so I left it behind. My grandparents had this exact photo in their home. Honestly, it could have been theirs. It looked exactly like that. I thought this little chicken coop was so cute too. And then I picked up these little bottle openers. I thought they'd be cute on my back porch, but they had no way to hang them, so I decided against it. I filmed that because it had so much milk glass. And then these needle points, oh my gosh, so pretty. Love this little heart-shaped basket, but not for $10. Gusachi. So much pretty artwork. These are so popular right now, and the person in there knew it. Look at my beautiful marmalade. Hi.
Hi.
What happened in there? I just blacked out.
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, we bought a ton of marmalade stuff. All the gooses you can imagine. And of course, baskets. And yeah, tune in for the haul.
Do you want a divorce?
Absolutely not. This is fun.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I kind of want to divorce me, but I'm stuck with me.
I mean, yeah, you are kind of stuck with you.
Oh my gosh.
But no, this is fun. I'm glad that you found what you've been looking for. Now you have a complete set.
Yep.
And that's
More than a complete set.
I mean, that's every collector's dream right there.
Yeah. Well, and I have room for breakage, so that's good too. And then I was able
to have 2 kids.
Yep. And I was able to pick some stuff up for Daniel to thank him for getting me the other China set. So I have 2 complete China sets.
So which ones are complete now?
Marmalade and Heartland.
Marmalade.
And got the GRAIL complete set today too. Like wasn't even collecting that, and then saw it and was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know GRAIL had a goose set. And as long as it's lead free, that'll be like our daily.
I mean, we've had GRAIL as our daily plates ever since we got married.
Yeah, 10 years, and they're still, perfect. So I don't know where we're gonna put that box.
And you had the GRAIL when you were in college.
Maybe.
Yeah, you had them in your apartment.
Oh, I had some GRAIL. Yeah.
Yeah, because Papa got them for you.
Yeah.
And then you said when we got married that you were going to have those as our daily plates because the GRAIL in the price down both of them.
Right. Oh goodness. I'm glad you still like me.
I love you.
Hi guys. We made it through the antique and thrift flea market store place. That place was really great. It was really fun. There was a lot of really great items in there. My husband and son had a lot of fun too, but it was very, very hot in there. And it's not even their fault because it literally snowed 5 days ago and it's 70 degrees today. So how are you supposed to know how to heat or cool that building? I mean, it's basically a giant warehouse with booths set up. It was almost impossible. There were so many people in there, and I know that my problem is that I go on Saturdays, and there wouldn't be so many people if I didn't go on Saturdays, but also like I have a full-time job, so that's when I had time to go. And my older son stayed with my mother-in-law because it's her birthday weekend and he wanted to spend some time with her. And then my younger son went along with us and he had a good time. It ended up being a really fun little trip. I decided to go there because my sweet friend Charisse messaged me and said, I found the rest of your marmalade plates. Do you want me to go by and get them? And then she ended up messaging me and telling me, what do you need? I sent her a list. And then she got there and they were a little bit more expensive than we are used to paying for as thrifters. So she sent me a message back and said, do you want me to pick these up? Are you sure? How bad do you want them? And I didn't reply in time. She owns her own antique store called The Kind-Hearted Woman in Enterprise, Alabama. And she had to get to her store, which is understandable. so she couldn't wait around for me. She did tell me she would go pick things up after her store closed, and would be happy to call and ask them to pull items. I showed my husband the items that they had at Past and Present Flea Market and Antique Store. It's a really long name. He kind of just got the bug and he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I do want to go. So we went and it was lots of fun. But that was why, because I went with the marmalade in mind. That was why I was going. So I knew that I was going to spend some money on these plates. But if you are a china collector, or if you're into, like, I know that like geese and the marmalade pattern is pretty popular right now. The Heartland pattern is really popular right now. I like both of those. But if you're into that kind of stuff, you know that sometimes sourcing those items can be really difficult. You can find them on Facebook a lot, but the shipping is so high, and then you don't know how you're going to receive that item, because most of the time you are getting it from an inexperienced seller and they don't really know the proper way to ship china. I mean, I actually ordered several pieces of marmalade a couple of weeks ago, received it in the mail, and most of it was broken. And it was broken, my heart was broken, everything was broken. Now the seller, of course, refunded me some money because she was very kind. She said, you know, this is a learning experience, I'm so sorry. And she was great. But when it came down to it, you know, you just don't know what you're going to get when you buy online. So to find it, you know, right down the road, I thought this is going to be worth the upcharge to not have to, first of all, find it, and second of all, to not have to pay shipping and not have to worry about whether or not it's going to be cared for in shipping and handling. I was excited to pick it up. So I'm going to show you now some of the pieces that I got. I already had some plates and bowls and teacups, but we have a ladies' tea coming up at church this weekend, and I'm planning on showing you how I plan my tablescape and preparing the tablescape, and then maybe some shots of the tea as well. But we're having a ladies' tea at church, so I really wanted to complete my set before the ladies' tea because I wanted to be able to use those pieces at the ladies' tea. So I'm going to be able to do that. Super excited. So let me show you some of the pieces. I am not going to show you every piece of china that I got because that would be crazy. But I do want to show you the patterns and like each piece of the set. So the first thing that I got was I bought a couple of more of these little teacups. These were priced pretty well. They were $5 a piece, which normally I'm used to paying $5 for the saucer and the teacup, but I've had so many saucers. So I did pick up 4 extra of these because I like to display teacups. And then I already had some, but I wanted to have them in case my kids got their hands on them. And honestly, my kids like to use these items. So if they decide that they want to drink out of one of these teacups, well, there may be a kid teacup that, you know, gets a little bit more chipped. And that way I have a little bit more flexibility with using the item. So I got some extras for breakage, which was actually my friend Cherise. She is definitely an experienced antiquer and reseller, and she actually recommended getting some extras just in case something breaks. I got 2 of these gorgeous serving bowls. I'm so excited to have these. If you've ever been to an English tea, and you probably, I mean, I just don't think that that's very common to go to like a traditional English tea. But when I went to the one that I went to a couple of weeks ago, she actually taught us about the concept of a slop bucket that you put on, a slop bowl that you put on the plate. And so what you do is you keep a bowl on the table, and anything you would put in there, like food that you did not finish, or you know, now we would say like your sweet and low packet, or you know, your lemon that you squeezed into your tea, you can put into the bowl. So I may decide to use them on the table in that way, but I also have some crystal bowls that I had thought about using. So we'll see how that comes out, but I did want to make sure that I pick these up because they are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I haven't ever seen these before anywhere. Even like on all the Facebook groups that I'm constantly watching, I've never seen the serving bowl. So I was really excited to find those. I also picked up several of these little cereal salad bowls, soup bowls maybe, because I had 2, I think, and I was really trying to make a set of 8. So I did pick up 7 so that I had one for breakage, but these are in such pristine condition. I was so excited to find these. Very thankful that my friend Cherise called me, and I feel so bad because her store closes at 2, and I had planned on going to Past and Present and doing all my business there and then heading to her store. And then by the time I got out of Past and Present, because it is so huge and there's so much to see, it was 2 o'clock, and I texted her and I said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I missed it. So we'll be taking a trip together to her store in the coming weeks. So look forward to that, to see her curated store. It's so, so cool. The plates, of course, these are the hardest things to source of like your common items. So like your teacups and your saucers, those are so much easier to find, but the plates are so much more difficult. And I think it's because in the United States, we tend to use this piece a little bit more. Like when you have people over, you're more likely to serve dinner on a piece of china that, you know, is your special china. You might serve dinner on it, but you're not going to pull out your teacups and your butter dish. You know, those things are a little bit easier to find. So these are more likely to get broken, and they're also more likely to fade. So they're a little bit more difficult to find. I was excited to see a whole stack of them. I got enough to complete my set and to have an extra for breakage. I just went through like 15 items. It's fine. I just went through like 15 items because I was trying to get to the bottom of the box. They gave me this big box. They wrapped everything so well. Anyway, they wrapped everything so well. Everything was great. But I wanted to show you the serving platters. So look at this giant serving platter. So when Cherise sent me the pictures this morning, I was like, why are you sending me a picture of a plate? Because I know what the plates look like. You know, she'd already sent me pictures of plates. And I was like, why are you sending me a picture of a plate? And then she's like, no, it's a serving platter. And I have not seen these frequently. So just to show you the size difference, that is the plate on top of the serving platter. So this would be obviously more for serving food on. So I definitely wanted to pick that up because if I'm going to be hosting any kind of party, and it's part of my 2026 goals to have more parties, and not just big extravagant parties, but come over and let's drink tea and just talk to each other parties. And I really didn't develop that until I went to the tea party at Cherise's store and experienced that tea with her. But I just learned so much about what a high tea is and like what it means for women, and it was just very empowering. I want to be able to continue to do that with my friends, so I'm going to keep hosting those, and I want to be able to, you know, use my fancy dishes. When I was at the thrift store today, there was a lady an aisle over, and I heard her talking to her friend, and she said, oh, I just love that, it's so beautiful, but I just don't have an occasion for it. And I have never, I'm not a big person that just goes to talk to strangers. I'm just kind of a black cat in that way. I don't mind people talking to me. It makes me happy when people come and talk to me. But when I approach other people, I just have a little anxiety around that. But something inside me just said, go talk to her. So I went straight over to this stranger and I said, friend, life is the occasion. Living is the occasion. And she smiled at me and she said, well, I guess you're right. And I said, the way I think about it is, when we die, all of our items are either going to go to the thrift store or the antique store or the landfill. So if you're worried about breaking stuff or using stuff and you don't have the occasion, just being alive is the occasion. So experience it. Live your life. Wear those clothes that you've never worn. Do your hair the way you want to do it. Cut your hair off like I did. Do what you want to do. Live your life. If you want to buy china that has ducks on it or geese or whatever it is, and eat off of it every day of your life, do it. Test it for lead first, but do it for sure. What are we saving things for? Let's live now. The next items I'm about to show you, I definitely did not go in there with a plan to pick anything like this up. I was going to get the marmalade, going to get in and get out. But that doesn't happen in an antique or thrift store, which is also why I filmed, because I knew deep inside my heart that I was going to be spending some time in there. I just 2 days ago purchased some vintage GRAIL off Facebook Marketplace. Felt pretty confident that it would arrive in one piece because it's GRAIL, you know, and GRAIL's pretty difficult to break. It was made after 1988, so I knew that it was lead free, so I felt pretty confident about it. But it was like the sweetheart pattern, and I like hearts, it's cute. Having plates that my kids can eat off of, that they can think back on, and it kind of gives them nostalgia, is something that I'm kind of sentimental about, because when I think about growing up, my mom had a very specific set of plates that we ate off of, and they were china, and we ate off of them every night, and she still has them, but every time I see those plates, I think about my mom. So I want them to have that same kind of nostalgia. Anyway, all that to say, I bought that GRAIL, and I'll probably end up reselling it because I found GRAIL with the country goose pattern. Y'all, this is so stinking cute. I'm going to test for lead. I've got my lead test coming in the mail. But I am definitely just in love with these little geese. It's such a cute little pattern. And we use GRAIL dishes every day. I have used GRAIL since I was in college. My husband was talking about that earlier, how I've had some of my GRAIL dishes for 15 years. And we were going to celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary. And I have those dishes from when we got married that have lasted and have been thrown on the ground. And I don't have to worry about it with these dishes. So I am going to test for lead just to be safe. But according to GRAIL, if it was made after 1988, up until 2000, and then 2000 and after, you don't have to worry about it. So according to them, it's going to be fine. I'm going to test it just in case. But I thought that this set was beautiful. And you're never going to believe this, but it was a 19-piece set for $30. Sold. Thank you. Let me get out of here before you change your mind. This is the dinner plate. This is the salad or dessert plate, depending on how healthy you are. The bowl is a little bit boring, but it's kind of your basic GRAIL bowl. I have some GRAIL Christmas that's basically like this, but with a green stripe. And then, of course, a saucer and a teacup. So I think these will probably be a really good hit with my kids because they like to play tea parties too, even though they're boys. I mean, boys drink tea too. So I think they're really gonna like these, and I'm not gonna have to worry about them breaking them. So it's gonna be a really great addition. We about to pivot. Because I just showed you the country goose, so cute, but I knew there was a marmalade item missing and I couldn't quite remember what it was, but I just found it in the bottom of the box with all the country goose stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I forget about that? Because it's my favorite item that I purchased today. I got this picture. I am in absolute love. Okay, so it's got the cute little gooseberry pattern. It's in perfect condition, but it also has the ice lip, which I think this is a wonder of engineering, because when you're making iced tea, and maybe you're not from the South and you don't make iced tea, but even if you're making iced water and you put your ice and your liquid in here and then you pour in, some people don't want ice in their drink, okay? Some people want to control the amount of ice, and also it splashes and it makes a mess. So the ice lip was very exciting, and also it's just so pretty. Just a beautiful little picture. I was looking at a teapot on eBay for weeks. Finally made an offer on it. The seller never responded, and then 2 days later, I got a notification somebody else has made an offer on the item, and I was like, good luck, because I offered them maybe $5 less, you know, and they never responded to me. So I think they're just not watching that listing. Well, apparently my offer encouraged them to start looking again, because they ended up selling it for less than what I had offered to another buyer. So, you know, that's how it is sometimes. So I was disappointed that I didn't get the teapot, but here's the thing. I drink iced tea a lot more than I drink hot tea. So I was super excited to find this. This is definitely coming to the ladies' tea, because I'm going to put iced tea in it, and it's going to be so cute, and nobody's ice is going to get in their cup unless they want it to. I forgot to tell you that the country goose came with a serving bowl. Love it, love it. And it's a GRAIL serving bowl, so you can serve salad or whatever in it and toss, and you're not going to have to worry about it chipping. Awesome. Okay, we're done with China, I think. We'll see. Pretty sure we're done with China, but I want to show you some of the other little things that I picked up because one of the things was on my 2026 thrift list, just something that I wanted to find in a thrift or an antique store, so that I did not want to buy new, but I really wanted something that was good in quality. A crystal juicer with the handle. This was only $8. I was so excited to find it. Now I know that I could probably have waited and found one at Goodwill, and I would have been ecstatic, you know, to get it for $2. But I thought $8 was a really good deal. There was actually another one there. So when I saw it, I grabbed it, and it was $14. And I kind of went back and forth on it because I was like, that's kind of a lot for a juicer. Then I went to another booth and found this one for $8.99, and I said, well, I'm taking that other one back because these people know they want me to buy this. So I did. I am going to take it to the ladies' tea. I'm going to have some lemon on the table, and if anybody would like a little lemon in their tea, they are welcome to juice it, or they can just cut it. The next item I kind of regret. Not regret. Like, I think it's super cute, and I think that it's, when I saw it, I fell in love. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that doesn't seem 100% functional. They're just little duck napkin rings, you know? And it was a set of 4 for $12. So it wasn't like I paid a crazy ridiculous amount, but I do need a set of 6 for the ladies' tea. So if I am going to use them for that, then I would need a set of 6. And there's no way I'm going to find 2 more by a week from today. There's just no way that's going to happen. So I may regret this a little bit, but I think they're super cute. And I do think that if I decide that they're not for me, that there are plenty of people who love the ducks who would be happy to pick these up for what I paid. So I think that, you know, stuff happens. When you're in the thrift store, when you're in the antique store, you kind of just grab and go. I kind of forgot about these because I stuck them in a basket and then forgot about them. And then when we were checking out, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about those. So I didn't have time to cull, you know, so I wasn't able to put them back. But I'm glad that I had them. I think that they're very cute, and I'll see if I end up needing them for the ladies' tea. But I may end up reselling them because I kind of just grabbed them thinking those would be cute for the tea. Maybe I'll find another one while I'm looking around, and I didn't. So they're here. They're cute. They're adorable. We'll see if I end up using them for the ladies' tea. The time has come for everyone's favorite segment. Baskets, 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 I love you. Oh, I just love baskets, you guys. They're so functional in so many ways. The first basket that I picked up, I saw it from like across the aisle, you know, we blocked eyes across the aisle, and I thought, oh, what a cute basket. And then I just happened to see the tag dangling down, and it said $10, and I said, take my money. This basket, first of all, is huge. Obviously, there are no issues with any of the weaving. Nothing is broken on it. They called it Fancy Basket. And she is fancy. And I love a basket. I use them all over my home for all kinds of different organization, and it just elevates my organization a little bit, you know? Instead of using crystal organizers, or not crystal, but those clear acrylic things that you see at the thrift store all the time, instead of using that, I try to use things that already exist, first of all, but also that I really love, that are just warm and cozy and make life seem, you know, more romantic. So I'm trying to romanticize my life in 2026, and baskets are how I'm doing it. The other basket I picked up, I actually had messaged my friend Sharice because she always keeps her eye out. My friend Sharice and my friends Daniel and Debbie from the Wishing Well Antiques, they also keep their eye out for me. And one of the things that I had mentioned to them was a picnic basket. And Sharice had sent me a couple like really, really nice vintage picnic baskets, and they were beautiful. They just weren't quite what I was looking for because I kind of wanted a more decorative piece. But I found this beautiful picnic basket. I wanted the true Dorothy experience, okay? And this one is by River Oaks East Women's Pavilion. I don't know what that means.
So apparently River Oaks East is a hospital. So it appears someone had this delivered to the hospital and the hospital stamped it for some reason. Doesn't make the basket any less cute to me though.
But it's beautiful, it's wood, it's in great condition, nothing is broken. She was listed for $20, and which is a lot for a basket.
Now, I'm not crazy. That's a lot for a basket, but I have been looking for a picnic basket for a minute. And this one was exactly what I was looking for, that Toto style, that you could put your little dog in there and they'd hop right out. But look at the inside. With that beautiful gingham, oh my gosh, I couldn't leave this behind. You guys would have been so mad at me if I'd left this behind. This little basket had to come home with me. She's got a new home, she's gorgeous. Thinking about filling her with flowers, maybe some baby's breath or something like that for the ladies' tea and using it as a centerpiece, we'll see. There's lots and lots of options. So there's so many things that I just have swimming around in my head for the ladies' tea. But I think this is such a beautiful little basket. Absolutely had to come home with me. The queen of baskets strikes again. The last thing that I picked up at Past and Present was this cutie little desk. And it's of course this little heart pattern that everyone's obsessed with right now. But I saw it and I thought it was just a super cute item. It's definitely like for a doll or like a teddy bear, but super cute. I think it would be great to put like plants on. That way they're just elevated a little bit, but it would be so cute to put plants on and you would still have kind of that stair step. But I saw this, I picked it up, it was $10. So I texted my friend Daniel and I was like, do you need this? Because I think you need it for your booth. And he said, yeah, girl, pick that up for me. So I did. I lied when I told you that the desk was the last thing. I'm sorry I lied to you, you know. I am. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. Anyway, I got this cute little planter. You know I love a duck. You know I love a goose. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's not that I just started liking gooses because geese. It's not that I just started liking geese because everybody else likes geese. I have always loved geese. Always. I grew up 5 minutes from a pond where there were geese everywhere. I've always loved them. I've always loved ducks. Just do. Always have. My favorite kind of ducks are the ones with the little afros. So cute. So cute. Or as my niece says, a granny duck because they look like they have granny hair. Those are my favorite. So it's not a trend for me. I love them and I have always loved them. I've always wanted a pet duck. So, you know, maybe I'll get one day. But for now, this can be my pet goose. And I thought she was so beautiful. She is called a vintage swan. There's no marking on the bottom to tell me what kind of vintage she is, but she could use a little painting if I did so decide. But I think it kind of adds to her character that she's a little faded. And I do plan on putting a little plant in here to just dress her up a little bit. But I thought she was so beautiful. And she was originally priced at $10. I got her for $8. And I just think she's beautiful. I think she was worth it. If I found something like this in the thrift store, it is very unlikely that it would not have any chips at all. And look, I don't care if things are chipped, you know, but I do think that that is one of the reasons you pay less at a thrift store than you do at an antique mall, because these items are curated and they're usually protected, All right, you guys, so technically that's everything I got from Past and Present, but I have a little surprise. Today, I got 2 packages from sellers on Facebook Marketplace. One of them is a very experienced seller, so I'm excited to see how she packaged her items versus how some of the other sellers have that have come broken. But I wanted to open those on camera because I was just excited to share them with you as well. The thing about buying on Facebook that I really don't like is the anxiety. Especially when somebody posts something like, I just went to an estate sale and I got a lot of great items. Here's a sample of them, but there's more. Make sure you tune in at 7 o'clock. And I'm like, I really like that, but do I want to fight 50 other people on the internet for it? And the answer is usually no. So I don't do a lot of buying off of Facebook, but I did buy some things recently and I want to share them with you. There's also this phenomenon that when I buy on Facebook, sometimes I don't really remember exactly what I got. Not because I didn't buy thoughtfully, because I always buy thoughtfully, because I'm moving quickly, and then you pay the people, and then you don't really get an invoice. You get PayPal, and it says goods and services. You know, sometimes they will list them out. Those are the really good sellers, but most of the time it's just like item and shipping, and then you pay them and then it comes in. So anyway, This item was from an experienced seller. She has done this before, and I knew when I opened the box that she was an experienced seller, and I said, I am not going to go any further because I want to open this on camera. Do you see how much bubble wrap is in here? This is how it's supposed to be. The items should not be able to move inside the box. They should be snug inside the box. And if they're not, then you need more bubble wrap. I mean, that is just how it is. If you're gonna resell online, wrap like this lady, because she did an amazing job. So the first item that I picked up from her was this cute little bottle. And it's just, I mean, I think I paid $3 for it, but it's definitely like a perfume bottle. It's got the little wick here, or like a diffuser maybe, but I thought that the color was really beautiful. You can't tell on screen, but it's like an iridescent pearl, and I just thought it was really beautiful. I could also pull this out and use it as a bud vase, and that may be how I end up using it. But I love this kind of detail. I loved the iridescence. I just thought it was really beautiful. So for $3, I had actually already purchased some items, and I was like, please throw that in my box. And she did not throw it in the box. She wrapped it beautifully and made sure that it did not break. So I really appreciate that. This item I paid $1 for, and she still individually packaged it inside the box so it would not get damaged. Thank you. I'm not angry at the sellers who are inexperienced, who sent me things and they got broken in the mail. I'm not angry at them. Like, we live and we learn. But also, if we're going to sell online, we need to learn to package things appropriately. And I think this is a really great example of things being packaged appropriately. So I picked up this book called Miss Jaster's Garden, and I just immediately fell in love with the cover. I judged a book by its cover, and I said, I want that. It's beautiful. It just had that look that I love, and I thought the kids would really enjoy reading it. Oh, it's got a sig inside. It says, "To Laura, a very Merry Christmas. Love, Aunt Rose." Oh my gosh, Laura, if you're out there, Merry Christmas. Your Aunt Rose loved you. So sweet. Oh my goodness. And the illustrations are beautiful. They're like watercolor. Oh my goodness. My kids are going to eat this up. Look at the little hedgehog. Can you see that hedgehog? Now the little hedgehog has stuff on top of him. Look, he got stuff all over him in the garden. Look at the constable. That's so funny. The map. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Since when do children's books have maps? Like, I'm an avid reader. I love any book with a map. If I had known that this map was in here, she would have charged me $15 for this book, and I wouldn't have thought about it. This is so sweet. Oh my goodness. What a great little add-on for $1. I just saw it and I was like, I definitely want that. How sweet. Oh, precious. This is the last item I bought from that seller, and I don't want to unwrap it on screen because the bubble wrap is aggravating and the sound hurts my ears, so it probably hurts yours too. But I just wanted to show how well this is packaged. Like, if I dropped this right now, it would be fine. I'm not going to, but UPS did. I promise you, they dropped it 30 feet. And I think that's what people forget, is that UPS, USPS, everything is automated. This changed hands many times, and it definitely dropped on a conveyor belt 30, 40 feet multiple times. And if you do that with these items, they have to be packaged well. So I'm really thankful to this seller for how she packaged things. Another little goose to be friends with my other geese. And she's got these sweet little flowers on her back. She's beautiful. She's definitely coming to the ladies' tea. All right, this package I have not opened yet, so I don't know how things are going to be inside. I also don't remember what it is, so we'll find out together. Whatever you are, please do not be broken. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is it's just wrapped in brown paper, so I'm a little nervous. Oh my goodness! Okay, so she did great because it wasn't breakable. This cute little mail slot, heart mail slot. Oh my gosh, I got this pretty inexpensively, but I love it. So cute. This is definitely an item that I will use. When I saw the little desk, I knew that that was super cute and that Daniel needed it in his booth. But this item we're going to use because I love a mail slot. We use this kind of thing all the time for school papers and all that kind of stuff. So perfect. Love, love, love. Okay guys, that's the haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed shopping with me. I had so much fun doing all of this with you. I definitely spent more money than I intended at that antique mall, but that's how it goes, you know? Sometimes you just let the antiques guide you. But they have a drawing tomorrow and you get a ticket for every $10 that you spend, so maybe I'll win and make some of that money back. We'll see. I really enjoyed my time. It was fun. It was great for me and my husband to go do something together. It's always fun to do something with just the little guy, because not my husband, but my younger son, because we don't do things like that very often. My older son he's older, so he's always there. He's always been there. It's not often that we just get to spend time with him. So I definitely enjoyed that. And then my husband and I enjoy doing these kinds of things together. So we had a lot of fun. And on the way home, I told him, I kind of feel bad for spending money. And he said, God did not put us here on earth to pay bills and die. It's okay that you spent money on things that you really love. So, you know, shout out to all the good husbands out there who understand that sometimes it's not about stuff, it's just about a feeling, and bringing that feeling into your home is special and unique, and it's okay to spend money on those kinds of things. But of course, I'd rather get it for a better price at the thrift store. So anyway, I'm really thankful that you guys tuned in. If you've made it all the way to the end, please comment down below. Why don't you comment silly goose, because that's what was on most of the china that we saw today. I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely boosts the algorithm and it helps me to continue to make videos like this. Like I've told you before, I work full time, so it's hard for me to make videos all the time, and it's definitely just encouraging to see your comments and your likes, and it makes me so happy when I see that people actually enjoy the things that I'm putting together and they're enjoying watching me. You know, I think it's crazy that there's so many of you out there who actually want to watch me. So thank you. It really means a lot to me. I do feel like you're my friends out there, so I appreciate that. And I can't wait to make another video like this for you. So leave me a comment, hit like, hit share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!